We just got sales data for the month of May for Washington County, and what you're going to see here might surprise you. If you're looking at buying or selling real estate in the St. George area, this isn't going to be information that's very important for you, so you want to make sure to pay attention. Make sure to stick around all the way through the end of the video to get every single piece of info that you're looking for. What's up, you guys? My name's Cody Stecky, your favorite Utah realtor. Thanks for tuning into this video. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. I make videos about what it's like to live here in St. George and what you need to know about the real estate market. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for being a supporter here of the channel. As I tell everybody, if you're thinking about buying or selling real estate here, make sure to reach out to me, call, text, or email anytime. My information is here on the screen. I absolutely love hearing from you guys, and I cannot wait to hear from you about your own individual situation. With that being said, we're going to jump on my screen here and take a look at what happened with sales data over the past month. So we're looking here at May of 2023. We had 188 home sales according to this data set here for Washington County. We saw a total sales volume of 116 million, and this is going to be your median list price right here, and then your median sales price right here. So this has actually dropped off substantially from the previous month of April. In April, we saw a lot of these higher priced homes get listed for sale, and a lot of these homes actually go through and sell on the open market. So that's why you're seeing a much higher number right here. And you have to really be careful with what data set you're looking at, because this information could vary depending on what service you're looking at, what month it is, where they pulled their data from, etc. Right? So a median sales price here of 522 is lower than what it's been over the last couple of months, but that's not, all that concerning or anything like that. We did see this drop substantially, but I think this is a little bit of an outlier. If you actually look back at February and March, we're kind of sitting right here in between those 2 months at $522,000. Again, same thing with the median sales price. This has actually come up since from what we saw in January and February of earlier this year, where we're at 485 or 480. So now we're sitting at 510. 800. This number right here is 98%. This basically takes this number that you're seeing here and divides it by the 522,500, which means that on average, a buyer is able to negotiate roughly 2% off the cost of the home when they go in and negotiate on a particular home. Now, that doesn't tell you the full story. You're still going to have some homes that sell for way above what the list price is, and you're still going to have some homes that sell for way below, right? You might have a home that's vastly overpriced, and that home ends up selling for quite a bit less than what you will see, it listed for, just because it's overpriced to begin with. So that's something you kind of have to keep in mind. You make sure to watch this information and be careful about this data, and make sure you're looking at comps that are valid and are actually accurate to the home that you're trying to purchase, right? So make sure you got somebody on your side who can get you this information for the home you're looking at. And the last thing I want to look at here before we look at some specific individual data is going to be your days on market. That right here is 37 days on market. This has increased slightly from what we saw in April, but it's still in a relatively healthy range. Even going back into the last 6 months of last year, we were at roughly 24 to 45 before hitting 50, and then now back down to 37. So slow sales are a little bit slower in the St. George area. We're starting to see things slow down here, which is a little bit different, but also a nice reprieve, just because there's been so many people who want to purchase, but they're just seeing everything out there that still seems really expensive, or it's just not the right thing. There's not a lot of inventory, and what is out there, kind of feels like slim pickings a little bit. So this is actually really good to see that the market is slowing down a little bit, prices are coming down a little bit, and I think this is going to open up more opportunities for the buyers out there in the market. Now, if you're a seller in this market, you might be thinking, okay, well, should I sell now? Should I sell later? And really, that's going to be a personal situation, a personal decision based on your situation, right? If you're in a position where you need to sell right now, then you should probably just go ahead and list your home. At least you have an idea of what prices are at right now. As far as, if you sell in 3 or 6 months, that's going to be a little bit of a different story, because prices could be up, they could be down, right? But that's going to be a gamble you're going to have to take. It can be really difficult. So I'd say base your decision on your own personal situation, right? If you're in a position where you just need to move, it's the right time for you and your family, then probably makes the most sense to just go ahead and do it. If you're in a position where you don't have to do those things, where you can kind of wait around and just see what happens, then I'd say maybe roll the dice and see what happens in 3 or 6 months. Maybe prices come back, maybe they continue to drop, right? So you kind of have to be okay and willing to accept what that could possibly turn into. So that being said, let's jump in here and take a look at some individual information. I want to first look at what's happening with single family homes. So we're going to change the property type here to single family only. Again, you can look at this information here to see what our search criteria is. So if we scroll down here, single family homes, we're still seeing homes get negotiated about 5% less than what they're actually listed for. 149 home sales, median sales price of 530 versus a median listing price of roughly 559. And we're seeing here median days on market is at 41. So that's really interesting information to see there. Let's go back and modify this one more time. We're going to look at everything else: condos, townhouses, and twin homes. If we take a look at this, there's significantly fewer sales, but it does paint a different picture, right? If we look at this, May 2023, 39 home sales during this period, $405,000 on the median list price versus a $398,000 sales price. So these homes at these lower price points, whether it's a condo or a townhome, they're still selling very quickly. Only 35 days on market here, and they're selling for pretty close to the asking price. So you also have to take this into account when looking at all of this information. Let's add the single family homes back in. And we're going to come in here and we want to look at the list price. So there's no minimum, but we're going to put a maximum of 500,000 and take a look at this info. So it was really interesting to see that in the lower price ranges, homes are still selling, in 24 days on an average basis. And then you're looking at a roughly 98% sales to list price ratio. I would actually expect this number to be a little bit higher just because there's so much demand at those lower price points that I would expect this to actually be closer to 100%, even given the decreased number of sales that we're seeing overall in the market when you seasonally adjust. So this is 399 for the list price and median sales price of 392. Let's come back here and modify this again. We're going to look at 500,000 to 1 million. This is a very popular range. We're going to see a lot of home sales here. And this tells, again, a different story. 680,000 roughly on the median list price versus 650,000 on the sales price, which represents a 4% difference on how much you're able to negotiate. However, these homes are sitting on the market for quite a bit longer at 47 days. So that's something to keep in mind there as well. 47 days on market for homes in this price range. And last but not least, let's look at what's happening in the $1 million price range and above. We're probably going to see a handful of sales here. Actually, 23 home sales above $1 million is actually pretty good. However, these homes are getting negotiated on by quite a bit, right? 90% here, not nearly as much as we saw in the last month of April at 81%. That's a huge drop. That means that homes were selling for roughly 20% less than what they were originally listed at. So that has increased here a little bit, sitting at still roughly a 10% delta compared to the list price. If you had a home listed at 1.4, that home is on average going to sell for really closer to like 1.279 based on this information here. So with that being said, guys, that wraps up our video here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I make videos about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, and play here in the St. George area. And if you want to be a part of it, you're going to want to make sure to subscribe to the channel to get notified of those future videos. And last but not least, make sure to reach out to me, call, text, or email. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, my team and I service the entire state of Utah. So no matter where you're looking, we'd love to help you along your journey. My information will be here on the screen. Call, text, or email anytime. And with that said, we'll catch you in the next one.